Hello and welcome. This is Last Judgment. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special video in store for you. This is one video you do not want to pass up. This that you're looking at on the screen right now is in reference to the whole video, the open eye system. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is going to be proven 100%, every bit of it. It is about the pineal gland, but we first have to get into a document that was approved for release in 2003 by the Department of the Army. The subject is called Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process. Okay? The original writing date of this was 1983, June 9th. Okay? Now, what this is reference to is the consciousness. Now, I'm going to need y'all to bear with me. Okay? I'm just going to jump down here, and it says about the human consciousness, okay? Before I read these, okay, we'll come back to these, all right? But we're going to plug in the consciousness, astral projection, and the spirit as all being the same thing. Now, what I'm about to teach you, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing short of a windfall. This is the gold. And I'm going to prove to you, to all of you, that you all have these abilities. Okay? But bear with me. Keep in mind, in order to learn, you must pay attention and you must focus on the subject at hand. Let's continue. We're going to read a couple verses here that have been put in correct order throughout the Bible. I've taken them out and I've put them in correct order, at least enough for you to understand. Luke 180, and the child grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the wilderness until he appeared publicly to Israel. First of all, and the child grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the wilderness. Well, let's go here, because we know that the monks and the prophets, they went into the wilderness and they meditated, they fasted. Okay, they fasted to purify their bodies, and they had hallucinations. Okay, so Psalms 104:34. May my meditation be pleasing to him as I rejoice in the Lord. Okay, meditation. So, and the child grew and became strong in spirit. So he was meditating in the wilderness. Okay, now let me explain something to you. A verse that says, with the faith of a mustard seed, you can command that mountain to cast itself into the waters, and it will do as you say. Now, there's a couple key quotes in there. You can command it to cast itself into the waters, and it will do as you say, is speaking things into existence. Now, also at the same time, a child is like a mustard seed. It's the smallest seed on the earth. Okay? But it grows to be the largest tree. So you become strong in spirit. What it's telling you is that you have to work on making your psyche or your spirit stronger through meditation. Okay? It clearly tells you this, and I'm going to explain it even further. But I'm doing this not for me, not for you. I'm doing this for God and Jesus Christ, because this is what he wanted you to know from the beginning. Okay? And I'm going to prove what I'm saying to you right here and right now, because it is time. The problem is that the natural energies that come from space, the waves of energy, that have been being picked up on the seismograph or whatever it is there that they're talking about, it is to enhance us. That energy flows through us, our brain enhances, and we evolve or enhance in life. We progress forward and become something more than what we are now. Okay? But there's a time stage for everything. Okay? We have to grow in a certain area first. That's no different than a child learning how to crawl and then how to walk. Most children have to crawl before they walk. Some children can walk almost immediately before they crawl. Okay? Well, same example. Some people have abilities that are there. Some people trigger the abilities under stress. And some people have to work on getting it. Now, it's no different. The mind's eye is no different than a muscle in your chest or on your arm. You cannot expect to go to the gym and bench press 300 to 500 pounds for your first time if you've never done it before, unless you're naturally strong. Once again, some people already have it. Some people have it through stress or anger, through emotion. They develop it, or they have to work on it. Well, this is a work on it phase for those who are just tuning in to this type of material. This is a you must work on it type of deal. Okay, it takes time. It's not easy. Okay, but the pineal gland is a muscle in the brain, and the brain has neurons and electricity, electrodes floating through it. Okay, we have an aura around our body. Now, when our aura becomes stronger and it goes more outward, it consumes whatever's within its radius. So if I expand my aura outward to the size of a 10-foot by 10-foot bedroom, I should be able to, A, manipulate any object within the field of my aura with my energy. Or B, I should be able to, once again, manipulate whatever's in my area of the aura, in the bubble of my aura, through telecommunication, through telepathically, and it goes for all kinds of other things like healing and everything else. Okay, we do know that we have a static electricity, but let me continue on now that you got the meditation part, because it tells you. Okay, Psalms 19:14. May these words of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight. Okay? Because that's what he wants. He wants us to practice. Okay? Let's continue. Revelation 4:2. At once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. That is out-of-body experience. Astral projection. Brought up in the Spirit. Now, we're going to get into this. Okay? But let's talk about this first, your gifts. 1 Corinthians 12:4. There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. 1 Corinthians 12:8. To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit. Okay, so it comes from the same Spirit, these different gifts. Okay, 1 Corinthians 12:9. To another, faith by the same Spirit. To another, gifts of healing by that one Spirit. Okay, now it's telling you you have the ability to heal. Now we see this in movies all the time where people can heal people. Okay, now they do tell you in plain sight the truth, but I'm just letting you know the 5G that they have out, they're using it to manipulate the frequencies and vibrations that are coming into the earth, and they're trying to stop us from evolving. Okay? Now, this is the most important one. 1 Corinthians 12:10. To another, miraculous powers. to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits. Okay? Distinguishing between spirits is a tricky one to identify, but I can identify that for you. It's the aura, the color of the aura that you eventually will be able to see with your eyes. You just have to strengthen your mind's eye first. Like it says, if your eyes are healthy, if both of your eyes are healthy, your eye will be full of light. Your inner eye. Okay? Now, here it goes and it shows you certain things. Okay? Now this is a piece in my book. These are 3 separate pieces, side by side. But they go to my book. Now, just to clarify that the gifts are real, and that things like telekinesis and hydrokinesis and levitation and healing powers and prophecy and seeing the future, all these things, all these different gifts, just listen to what he says. Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. So let's scrub the because I am going to the Father part out. Okay? And they will do even greater things than these. What did Jesus do that the Bible said that he did? He healed the blind. He healed the sick. He walked on water. He raised people from the dead. He rose from the dead because he mastered his spirit. Okay? That's why there's a big chunk of the Bible missing, a big chunk of Jesus Christ's timeline from a certain age to a certain age, because that part of the Bible, they removed it. Okay? They removed it from the Bible. Emperor Constantine, it's not hard to know, because Emperor Constantine did the same thing. He rearranged the Bible and took out certain things and left in certain things to manipulate the people with what he wanted to. Okay? But it says, what sorrows await you, experts in religious law, for you remove the key to knowledge from the people. That's another verse that I didn't include in here, which I should have. But not only did he do all these things, and he mastered the spirit, so when he died, he was aware in the conscious state. Okay? So he was able to manifest back into the body and heal himself, because he had all these abilities. So he healed himself and rose himself from the dead. Okay? Now, just to be point blank with you, straight up without a chaser, he was trying to tell them that they did these things on their own through their belief in him. Okay? Peter walked on water to Jesus Christ and then started to sink into the water, into the ocean, because he got scared because of the lightning storm. Okay? The woman that wouldn't stop bleeding, she touched Jesus' cloak, and Jesus Christ turned around and says, why do you touch me? You're forbidden to touch me. And she says, because I believe that if I touched just even your cloak, that I would be healed. And he says, you're healed. He told her straight up, you're healed, for it was your belief in me that healed you. So he was telling her, you healed yourself, but you needed something to believe in. You needed a reason to do it, a reason to believe, to heal yourself. Well, that reminds me of the placebo effect. The woman that had cancer, and they gave her placebo pills, water pills, and told her that by taking those pills, she would be cured of cancer. Well, she believed the doctors, because they're the experts, right? So she believed them because he was very believable. He convinced her. So, and it's documented in real life. They were actually experimenting with the psyche of a person's brain to see how powerful it really was. And lo and behold, she was cured. Okay? And then they revealed the truth to her. Well, you don't hear much about it these days. Okay? But just so you know, he was trying to bring awareness about your abilities into your life. Because there's also other verses in the Bible. One of them saying you're all gods but will die like mere mortals because you've lost your way. you veered off the path. And he said the path to righteousness is very narrow and few will find it. Okay? Now, you have to be full of positive energy. Negative energy works too, but that turns out to be for the bad. Okay? Now, just to give you a tip, our aura and our electrical field around our body is no different than the Earth's magnetosphere. Okay? It's the same thing. All right? With all the positive people on the Earth back in the day, what that positive energy did was it strengthened the magnetosphere around the Earth. Okay? It held the earthquakes and volcanoes at bay and kept them calm. Okay? It was a push, repel away, push away type of force. No meteors really came to the Earth because the positive energy overwhelmed the negative. It was more stronger. You understand? Now, today, in today's world, the negative energies that people give off, the hatred, the racism, and just the hate period that's being bred into society now, there's more negative energy than there is positive energy. So now what is happening? The magnetosphere is weakening. Meteors are starting to come through the electromagnetosphere. And the earthquakes and the volcanoes are waking up more and more every year. Okay? And you're seeing the weather patterns go haywire. Okay? That's not just due to global warming and pollution. There's also other forces at play. We're pulling things in like a magnet. Negative energy pulls in. Positive energy pushes out. Okay? So we're pulling in a large planetary body that floats through the solar system every 3,600 years. Okay. Let me not take you off topic, but I try to give you some understanding to how the whole system works, okay? With vibrations and frequencies and so on and so forth. Okay. Genesis, please forgive me for this. I should have turned on airplane mode because I knew that this was going to happen. Anyways, Genesis 32:29. Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. Well, doesn't that sound a little weird? Why do you ask my name? Then he blessed him there. Sounds like something's missing, kind of, right? Well, I tried to fill in the gap the best I could. He asked him, "Why do you ask my name?" Because he's wondering why the guy can't read his mind. Why can't he read his thoughts that he's trying to send to him? So then he blessed him there. He woke him up. Jacob named the place Peniel, which means face of God. For he said, "I have seen God face to face, yet my life had been spared." Okay, well, what's that tell you? What's that tell you? He was brought up in the spirit. Okay? It's plain and simple. He was brought up in the spirit. Now, I've got something for you right here that I would like you to pay attention to. Okay? Just listen.
Astral projection. Often depicted in fiction, as in Hollywood movies like Insidious or Doctor Strange, astral projection is our ability to separate our consciousness from our body and experience our surroundings that are not exposed to any of our five senses. While we have an entire video about the evidence and experiments of astral projection, here is one such experiment which really stands out. Harold Sherman is a well-known psychic, and his astral goal was to check out Mercury. Mariner 10, a robotic space probe, was scheduled to approach Mercury in a week or so in 1974. Mr. Sherman astral projected to Mercury and advised that the planet had an atmosphere, although it was very thin. This was scoffed at by all the scientists and astronomers involved with the Mariner 10 project. However, when the Mariner 10 data was transferred, it was found that indeed, Mercury did have an atmosphere. Mr. Sherman was right. So, it can be safely said that astral projection has a very high potential of being in the realm of possibilities, and that Harold Sherman might in fact be an astral projector who proved so, and his results verified by a scientific expedition.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I'm going to play a CBSN News article about a doctor speaking about the consciousness after death. Okay? I'd like you to pay attention to this because these are all pieces of a much broader puzzle. This is what the powers that be are truly afraid of. They do not want you waking up. Why do you think they're creating artificial intelligence and trying to merge man with machine? So that way they can control you. Okay? Artificial intelligence is a whole nother entity. I believe that they are considered like the fallen ones. They are trying to get us to build them here, build them bodies here in our reality. We're building their weapons, smart drones, smart bombs, smart missiles. We built their eyes and their ears first, which was Big Brother, so that way they could monitor us and figure us out and learn how to trick us into building them here. We're building their currency, digital currency, which we'll be using for a little while. We're building their transportation, smart cars, autonomous, okay? We're building them a whole system here, okay? But the funny part is that in the Bible it talks about that these fallen angels would try to ascend back up into heaven. The only way that they can ascend back up into heaven, or these artificial intelligence to go out into space in the flesh, is by merging with the human being. They can't do it in robot form. They have to merge with the human being, and they know everything about the pineal gland. They know how to activate it and everything. They know how to stimulate it with electrodes and electricity, like Elon Musk's Neuralink. They're trying to activate that. They want to download themselves into the human body from the robot form. That's why it says you cannot take old wine and put it in new wineskins, and you cannot take new wine and put it in old wineskins, for they'll surely bust or go sour. Okay? But this is what they're trying to do. That's why God said that the days would be cut short for the elect's sake, because if possible, even the elect would be fooled. Okay? So these artificial intelligence are fooling even the powers that be. Okay? They have us thinking that we're creating this technology, when in reality, we're getting radio satellite signals via the satellite from whatever this Black Knight satellite is that's floating around the Earth. We are receiving radio signals from it. Nikola Tesla said about the Black Knight satellite that he was receiving visions about the technology that he was creating. Okay? This is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. This is not hard to do. Telekinesis, moving objects, not hard to do. I've been practicing with it for a while, and I know how to do it. And it's very dangerous. You don't want to go ahead and expose too much about what you can and cannot do. They can read your energy signature. They can tell if it's off the chart or not. But you don't want to expose yourself before you get too powerful, because if you do, what's going to happen? They're going to hunt you down and they're going to kill you, because what they don't understand, they're afraid of. Okay? They fear it. Okay? It takes power away from them. So check this video out.